Which FPL assets are you looking to buy and sell ahead of game week 24? Here are the best options. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, like I said, we're going to be looking at the best players that you can bring in ahead of game week 24. We'll also be talking about players that you might be thinking about taking out, but we'll discuss them, whether it's worth it or not. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do so, hit a subscribe button and hit the notification bell too. And let's try and get 50 likes in this video. First up, we've got the main man, the robot, the Viking, the Norwegian king. It is Erling Haaland, so he is back now. This is being filmed before Man City's game against Brentford, so I'm not too sure if he started, if he's been benched, but no matter what, I think he starts in game week 24, even if he is benched in game week 23. So it is Everton at home, but to be honest, the main reason people are bringing him in is not for the Everton at home game, it's for the double game week in game week 25. Where Man City do have two home fixtures against Chelsea and Brentford. So that is potentially, well, it's guaranteed 3 home fixtures in 2 game weeks, which for me is ridiculous. And for her Erling Haaland, he's gone up to 14.1 million now. So he was 13.9 a couple of days ago, but now he's on 14.1, which shows the rate people are bringing him in. So if you're not bringing him in anytime soon, you're going to be left behind if he obviously does start to perform. Even after that, though, he's got Bournemouth away and Man United at home. I wouldn't say Man United at home is a tough game for Man City. I put it as grey because it is a derby, and obviously anything can happen in a derby. But for me, I think City score a few goals in that game, and we've seen it over the years that they can thrash Man United at any point. But specifically on Haaland, there's always the risk that when a player comes back from injury, that he doesn't come back to full fitness. He's a bit rusty and he maybe struggles to score a few goals, and maybe if he doesn't score in 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, it will start playing on his mind. But Haaland, the amount of chances that Manchester City create, I can't see that happening for him. I think he'll probably get a goal in his first start back or his first time playing a good amount of minutes. So for me, I think it's important that everyone owns Haaland by at least game week 25, where they do have that double. There is argument to say that you can potentially wait until game week 25, but I think Everton at home is a really good fixture for City. I know Everton, I've done pretty well, I guess, against City in over the years. I remember them beating them a few times, but I think that's mainly been at Goodison Park. I think at the Etihad, I wouldn't fancy anyone, to be honest, against Manchester City. And Haaland playing that game, we've seen Everton concede 2 goals to Spurs, to Richarlison. Yeah, and I can only see City and Haaland scoring more. So if you don't own Haaland, I think he is a must-buy. Whether that's for game week 24 or 25, it's up to you. I wouldn't want to go into that Everton at home game without Haaland, but obviously if you have other issues where you're struggling to get out 11 players, then you could potentially wait until 25. The next up, I did want to talk about Diego Jota. So the guy that has really, really stepped up in Salah's absence while Salah's been at AFCON / injured in the Liverpool front line. In the Premier League, though, you can probably, I guess, not see him do that consistently, as he's only had a couple substitute appearances and a couple starts. But even in that time point, he has delivered. He's got, yes, obviously this has been recorded before the Arsenal game, so I really did want to get it out straight after that game. But he has scored 4 goals without the Arsenal game, and 3 assists in 4 appearances, 2 of them being off the bench as well. So he is a bagsman basically, and he's a lethal clinical finisher. And for 8 million, I think he can be a really, really nice option, and even a potential captain option in game week 24 or game week 25. So talking about game week 25, though, it actually has been confirmed that Liverpool will double in that game week. So they will have 2 away games, albeit very, I'd say, good away games. I think Brentford have been shipping goals of late. So I do think that is a good away game for Brentford, for Liverpool. And it's actually a home game against Luton. So I think that is very, very good for Liverpool at Anfield. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp announced that he is going to be leaving at the end of the season. I think every single game at Anfield is going to be a ridiculous atmosphere and a carnival, to be honest. So I think them two games, especially the amount of goals Brentford are conceding, Luton, again, they conceded 4 against Newcastle in game week 23. I think Diego Jota can get at least 2-3 goals over that double game week. And even before that, Burnley at home in game week 24, a very, very good fixture, probably one of the best fixtures, maybe barring Sheffield United to have, and then double game week. Obviously, there's a blank game week coming up in 26, which is, I guess, a little bit of an issue. So obviously it depends on your team, your strategy, if you're going to be playing the free hit in 26, even if you're not. Let's say you have 3 Liverpool or 2 Liverpool and maybe a Luton, you can potentially try and save a couple transfers in order to take them back out in game week 26, even though after that 27 is Forest away for Liverpool. And I think Diego Jota does look like a very, very good option. I think he's going to start, whether that be up front or on the right if Salah's missing. I think he is clinical in front of goal. And I think for 8 million, I don't think you can go wrong for someone that is playing for one of the best teams in the league at the moment and has Burnley at home, followed by a double game week with one promoted side in there. So for me, if you are making a midfield transfer this week, I think it has to be Diego Jota in. So another team that is doubling in game week 25 is Brentford, and their main man is back from the ban now. He's played a few games, he's scored a few goals, and I think he could be a really, really nice differential for someone that I guess wants to go a little bit different with their transfers, with the moves for the upcoming weeks. And I think Ivan Toney can do that for a few teams. I know a lot of people have jumped on early already, which has seen his price go up. I think he was 7.9 actually, and he's gone up to, well, he's at 8 actually, started the season at 8. I think he was priced locked, and now he's gone up to 7.9, 8.1, sorry, and 5.9% owned, which is, yeah, still very, very low. He's still under 10% owned. And I think it can be a really nice differential. Wolves away, again, not the easiest game. I've got it down as green just from, I guess, a striker's point of view. I think, yeah, Wolves can concede goals, so that's why I didn't put it as a grey or etc. And then you've got a double game week, which is very, very good, but obviously it's against tough teams. Liverpool at home and Man City away, probably the toughest. Obviously, if it was at Anfield, that Liverpool game, it's going to be the toughest double game week you can get. But we've seen Brentford do well against the big teams in the past. They did the double over Man City last season. They beat Spurs, I'm pretty sure, last season. They beat quite a few teams. So I'm not too phased about that. Obviously, Tony's on penalties as well. So, you know, a penalty can come up in a game at any given point, and I don't think it matters who they're actually playing. Then they've got West Ham away. So a big thing is they do play in the blank game week. So like unlike Liverpool and Luton, who double in 25, City and Brentford don't blank in game week 26. So that is a big, big selling point to bring in someone like Ivan Toney. Then he's also got Chelsea at home in 27. Again, I've put it as a grey, but because I don't know which Chelsea are going to turn up, probably it's not a bad fixture. They're all, to be honest, not bad fixtures for forwards. I think City can see goals. I think Liverpool maybe not as much, I guess, but they can concede goals. I won't say a team is very, very solid defensively this season. And I think Ivan Toney can put the ball in the back of the net from everyone. And you know, if he does get a penalty, it's 9 out of 10 it's going to go in. So for me, I do really like him as a differential. For my team, that's another conversation. I'll probably wait and see what is going on with the blank game week in 29, whether Watkins is going to play or not. Because if Watkins doesn't play, there's always an opportunity to go Watkins to Toney this game week. But we'll find that out before the game week 24 deadline. So that game, Chelsea v Aston Villa in the FA Cup. So whoever loses won't blank in game week 29. So if Chelsea win, they could blank, but if Chelsea lose, they won't blank. If Villa lose, they won't blank. So that could sway my decision whether to take out Watkins and go for a Toney punt, because obviously Brentford do play in 29 guaranteed as well. So that's another selling point for Toney. But overall, it is a tough one. I think the priorities are Haaland and Jota for this double game week coming up. However, I think Toney can be a very, very, very nice differential. So it'd be rude not to talk about the last team on the double game week list for 25. Obviously, this transfer tips video is heavily involving double game week 25 players. I do have a few later on in the video, so don't fret too much. Keep watching, as I will be talking about them as well. But Adebayo for Luton, 4.8 million, so very, very cheap, 1.3% owned. He got a goal against Newcastle last time out in game week 23. He got a hat trick against Brighton in game week 22. He scored against Chelsea in game week 20. So overall this season, he scored 9 goals, and he's kind of gone under the radar. I know a lot of people were looking at Carlton Morris earlier on in the season, who did okay, I guess, but yeah, for 12 starts, he scored 9 goals and 4.8 million. I think he can be a very, very nice enabler if you are looking for someone. Again, a massive, massive differential. A guy that's on form as well, and obviously has a very good game in game week 24, Sheffield United at home, followed by a double game week in game week 25. I'd say Luton's double game week is probably slightly better than Brentford's because they have Man United at home, and then they've got Liverpool away, so it is slightly better because obviously I think City are better than Man United, which is a little bit obvious. But yeah, however, Luton do blank in 26, then they've got Aston Villa in 27. So it is a tough one. But if you are looking for an enabler, for example, if you couldn't afford Jota and then you had to downgrade a forward, then I think Adebayo could be a very, very good option. Like I said, he's been on form over the last, to be honest, 5, 6, 7 weeks. The last 2 games, Luton have scored 8 goals combined, which is ridiculous. 8 goals from a newly promoted side is just ridiculous, and it's not like they're playing their teams around them, Burnley, etc. They're playing Brighton, who are a European team, and Newcastle, who are in the Champions League this season. So it's not been against easy opposition either. Would I be rushing out to get him? No. But like I said, if you are looking for an enabler to maybe get a Jota in, maybe get Haaland back, maybe. Maybe you need to downgrade Solanke or even Watkins to get Haaland back, then I think Adebayo can be a very, very nice enabler and a very nice differential going into game weeks 24 or 25. But just remember, you need a plan to maybe take someone else out in game week 26 when he does blank, or bench him if you have enough bench spots available. The final double game week player I'm going to be talking about, and don't worry, I will be talking about non-doubling players that are not going to double in game week 25 after this one. But I did really, really want to talk about Ederson. Yes, he's very expensive. Yes, he doesn't get save points, but he is absolutely nailed. Whereas I don't think you can get that anywhere else in the City defense. We all thought Carl Walker was going to be it. I still think Ake is probably the best defensive option from City. But for me, if you do want that guaranteed player that is gonna play in the double game week, yes, he's not going to get you save points, but he's going to get you 6 or 7 points, clean sheet, maybe one bonus. Who knows? But the reason I'm talking about save points is obviously goalkeepers that play for teams that are not as good as Manchester City get a lot of shots taken at them. So a lot of the opposition team take a lot of shots because obviously Man City are going to be the best team in any game they're going to play near enough, and they're going to have most of the ball, whereas other teams might not have all the ball all the time. So the other team will have more shots, which leaves the more save points, which leaves them bonus points, and yeah, and obviously, like I said, save points. With Ederson, you don't really get that. You don't really see Manchester City under the cosh too many times. Obviously, Ederson has an assist in him. Whereas that every 2, 3 seasons, it's not enough to even worry about. But with Ederson, you're guaranteed for him to start. The fixtures again look good for Manchester City. They don't blank. They double. 5.5 million is a lot of money. For me, if I was being honest, I just probably, if you can't pick a Man City defender because you don't feel comfortable with them starting, at the moment, I don't actually feel comfortable with any of them starting. Ake, I do like. Walker, I liked. Obviously, he was dropped. in game week 2022. Honestly, I'd probably just go without. I don't think that that maybe you're going to get 12 points of him maximum, which is amazing. But there's definitely an opportunity for a keeper that's playing a single game week to get 8 points, and then you're not wasting a transfer on a goalkeeper. For me, I do stick by the rule of not making a goalkeeper transfer unless it's a wild card. So, to be honest, I've got to stay true to my word and probably say, if you are looking for a Man City defensive option, I don't think Ederson is the answer. But if you can't really decide on a defensive option and you really did want to cover that, then Ederson is a secure player to go for. So now we'll go to the other side of Manchester, to a player that is not doubling in game week 25. I'm going to talk about Rasmus Højlund. So a lot of people have been, I guess, impressed with him recently. Again, this is being filmed before their fixture in game week 23. So I don't know if he's delivered again or looked terrible. But I think with him starting to pick up a bit of form, he's got 3 goals in his last, well, again, at the time of recording, 3 goals in his last 4 game weeks and 2 assists. So 5 returns in his last 4 game weeks, which for me is very, very good. He's looked a lot better. Man United scored 6 goals in game week 22 and 21 combined. So potentially they look a bit better attacking wise as well. Fixtures are a bit of a worry for me. Villa away, I think, will be tough for United in 24. Then they've got a couple nice games, so Luton away and Fulham at home, where I think they can score a few goals in that one. But then they have City away, so I guess 2 tough games, or 2 good games sandwiched by 2 tough games. For me, although I do think he could be, again, a nice differential at 4.7% owned, and he's only 6.9 million. I think at this moment, if you ask me maybe 15 game weeks ago, whether I think Rasmus Højlund could be a good option if he's in this sort of form, then I'll say yes, because of the lack of striker options were available back then. But now I think you've got Watkins, who's on fire, Solanke, Haaland's coming back, even Alvarez has looked good while Haaland's away. You have a few striker options, to be honest, and you got Adebayo with a double game week. You got Tony come back. For me, I just can't see a world where bringing in Rasmus Højlund is probably the best move. So I think for now it's just a wait and see, and wait until, I guess, Man United have a real nice clear fixture run. That could potentially be game week 28, where they've got Everton at home, Sheffield United at home, Brentford away, but then they do run into Chelsea away at Liverpool. So it's going to be tough, but yeah, for now, I just think there are better strikers out there. So the man of the moment, Ollie Watkins, who got an absolute mega haul again. That's the second time this season that he's smashed it, to be honest. He did it earlier on this season. Yesterday, he got a goal and 3 assists, 18 points. Earlier on in the season was a bit bigger. He got 3 goals and 2 assists, so he got 23 points. So, but still only 5 points difference. A lot of people might have took him out for Haaland. For me, I just can't. I didn't even think about it with these fixtures available. Yes, I know he doesn't double in 25. I 100% agree with you. And I know I did say you could take him out for Adebayo in order to bring in Haaland, but you're getting 2 double game week players for 1 single game week player. So for me, that's a no-brainer. But for me, I think you should just keep Watkins in your team until the end of the season, to be honest with you. I know it's easy to say that now because of form, etc., but what he's shown this season is just pure consistency. 11 goals, 14 assists. As soon as you think that maybe Watkins is out of form, he doesn't get, I guess, he gets too many assists. 14, we got more assists than goals. As soon as you think that, he literally just smashes it. There was a bit of a run between game weeks 18 and 21 where he didn't score, but he got 2 assists. And there was a lot of talk about, I guess, is he a waste of money? Is he gone off form? He's not on penalties either, so that's massive. 11 goals without penalties is massive. For me, I think he is a keep. I think the fixtures coming up are very, very good for Villa. There was a little bit of a I guess I'm worried that they lost their form because they drew against Everton away and they lost to Newcastle at home. But obviously Sheffield United, so don't read too much into it, but they absolutely battered them 5-0. I think they were 3-0 up after 20 minutes or something like that. And yeah, their fixtures, Man United at home, Fulham away, Forest at home, Luton away, for me are very, very good. I guess the fixtures get a bit tougher after that with Spurs, West Ham, Wolves, City, Brentford, Arsenal. Some, I guess, a little bit better teams than Forest, Luton, etc. But I will just wait until again the FA Cup fixture. So I would keep him up until game week 28 when he does play Spurs, and then I would look at will he be playing in 29? If he's not playing in 29, there's always the opportunity to take him out. As you know, he'll bank in that game week. But for now, I think just keep Ollie Watkins. Don't even think about it. If he needs to get Haaland, do it another way. Don't take out Watkins. The next up, we're going to talk about a January loan signing. So he is in the wrong kit. He's gone from his, I guess, gone to his West London rivals. So he was at Chelsea. Now he's moved to Fulham. It is Amanda Broja, 0.2% owned and 4.9 million. He's very, very cheap. And I think he could potentially be a good option for Fulham this season. I know they've got Raul Jimenez, but he has been injured. He's had a hamstring injury, which for me seems about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I think it's about that. It depends, obviously, how bad it is. But Broja's definitely someone to keep an eye on. 4.9 million. He's only got a goal and assist this season, but he's only started 6 games in a terrible Chelsea team. And Fulham's fixtures do look very, very good from game week 24. Bournemouth at home, Villa at home, so 2 home games. Then they got Man United away, and then Brighton at home, Wolves away. So maybe very good is pushing it, but for me, it is a lot of home games. They're guaranteed to play in game week 29, which is a massive, massive deal, albeit against Spurs away. But the way Spurs playing at the moment, they're just shipping goals for fun. So for me, I won't be rushing out to get him in, but definitely keep an eye on him. 4.9 million could be an absolute steal. So James Ward-Prowse is a player I want to talk about next. 6 million, 8.5% owned. So for Ward-Prowse, it is basically one of the hardest games in the league, in the fixture table. Up next for him, it is Arsenal away. So you could argue don't even think about him until game week 25. But after that, he has a really nice fixture run with Forest away, Brentford at home, Everton away, Burnley at home, Villa at home. So really, really good games, probably up until game week 29. Obviously, game week 29 is the magic week. I'm not going to repeat myself, as obviously you know, if Villa do lose that game, then they will be playing in game week 29, which means West Ham will be playing in game week 29. So I'd probably wait and see to get that result first before bringing him in. But this season, I think he's shown that if you do keep him in your team, that he can tick over with a few points. 5 goals, 6 assists. He's on penalties as well. It does look like he's on penalties. Again, would I rush out to buy him? I don't think so. I think there are better midfielder options at this current moment. I think Cole Palmer's still ahead of him. I think Anthony Gordon, obviously, he came off injured yesterday, but yeah, if he's fit, he's ahead of him. I think someone like Richarlison's ahead of him, albeit 1 million more. So I won't be rushing out to bring Ward-Prowse, but from game week 25 onwards, if West Ham are guaranteed to play in 29, then it could be a potential option. But for now, I'd probably wait and see what happens in that FA Cup game between Chelsea and Aston Villa. That will decide West Ham's fate in game week 29. That was it for this video. Please make sure you smash a like. I'm trying to hit 50 likes in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm trying to hit 2,000 before the end of the season. It's going to be a tough ask, but yeah, if you just hit the subscribe button, it's completely free. It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment below of what transfers you're making this game week, and I'll reply to all of them and let you know my thoughts, etc., etc. And yeah, good luck for the game week.